What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends X-Men Fabian Cortez. He's part of the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. As we all know, I've been reviewing everybody in that wave because I want the Build-A-Figure. Anyways, I got him at GameStop, I believe, but don't quote me. I've had him for a couple minutes now. Anyways, he's a character I'm not super familiar with. I know he had something to do with Magneto and the Acolytes at some point, but that's really about it. But let's take a look at his package really quick. It's the exact same as all the others. Nice window on the front, nice comic book like image on the side, literally the same shit on the back. It says some stuff about him if you want to pause it and read it, but anyways, that's enough about this package. Let's get him out of the package and take a closer look at him. All right, out of the package, he doesn't look half bad. I'm not, like I said at the beginning, I'm not super familiar with this guy, but he doesn't look terrible. Has kind of a weird Billy Ray Cyrus kind of look with the ponytail mullet kind of thing going on. But anyways, let's see how tall he is really quick. To the top of his hair, he is 6.5 inches, which will make the entire figure 16 and a half centimeters, something like that. I guess that works. Marvel's scale creep has been coming up. I don't know if he is a super big character or not as far as size is concerned. Anyways, let's take a look at his aesthetic before we get into the real nitty-gritty. This looks like it's the Vulcan body, or mostly the Vulcan body anyway. The upper body definitely is. But the lower legs got some red snow boots or something on, but it looks like they're Vulcan legs too. We'll compare him to Cyclops, who I know for a fact is Vulcan body here in a second. Let's look at his face. Again, with the hyper-realistic kind of face, doesn't look bad. I don't know, if that looks exactly like how how Fabian Cortez is supposed to look, but it doesn't look bad necessarily. The paint's good, whatever those weird things on each side of his head are. His hair looks really good. His hair actually has a wash. How come Marrow, a female, you'd think they would pay attention better to female hair or whatever more than a guy's, but he has a wash and it looks pretty good, and the hair's kind of flexible, so that's not too bad. He's got the shampoo bottle plastic kind of a harness thing going on. Doesn't look horrific, just a couple of spots maybe where there's some marbling. They need to paint these or something, because that is glaringly just kind of cheap looking. I hate to be an asshole like that, but it does. The V on the front of his body, painted well enough. Paint around the neck looks good enough. Let's talk about his skin, because he's looking awfully pink.
Hold up.
Let's stand him next to, at least put him next to Cyclops' face. You see that? He is awfully pink. But he kind of has reddish kind of hair, so maybe it's just they were trying to go for the ginger effect. I don't know. He looks well enough, it's the Vulcan body, so the sculpt isn't too horrible. Gloves, very plain, definitely needs some paint on there. No paint on the legs, no surprise. No paint on the snow boots, which if they had some paint on probably wouldn't look half bad. It'd make his ankles look super duper fat. You see, that's why I'm calling them snow boots, because that's what they look like on him. Zero taper in the legs, basically, because of that, so I don't really like that too well. I do like the sculpt of his cape. I wish there was some painting, shading, something going on, a wash or something in it. But it doesn't look bad. If it had some paint at all on it, it would look really, really nice. And it's nice and flexible too. But yeah, kind of plain. At first, when you glance at him, you'd think he's a little more complex looking of a figure than he actually is. He's fairly plain Jane. Not that he looks bad, but he doesn't look as nearly as good as he could. Anyways, let's look at his accessories really quick. Comes with the head sculpt right here on him in the package, and no other head sculpts, unfortunately, but this one doesn't look too bad. Teeth gritting face. He comes with 4 hands, 2 fist hands on him in the package. And he comes with a gripping hand. Yet again, Hasbro giving us shit, gripping hands for nothing to grip on. That's fucking stupid. And he has like a wide open hand, kind of like his hand's doing something. And that's cool enough, I suppose. But a redeeming feature for this is these little flame effects that go on his fists. These look friggin' awesome. I love these. They're like a translucent yellow with some faded in the orange type of plastic. And these are really awesome. And they just go on his fists. I'm going to demonstrate it really quick. And those look really good. I really don't, I'll be honest, I don't have much interest in this figure, but I like these. These would go really awesome with like some of those Jada Street Fighter figures, like my Ken or Ryu or my Fei Long figures. So I may just keep, because eventually I'm probably just going to sell these off and keep the Build-A-Figure, but I will probably keep those and just eat it on him because I like those a lot. Those might go with my Jada Street Fighter figures. And he's part of a Build-A-Figure wave, and it looks like this is the left leg for Nemesis, and it looks pretty good. I keep saying that Nemesis is going to be a nice Build-A-Figure. Ooh, also, these would go cool with my my Jiren figure from Dragon Ball Evolve. I think I might try and see how these look on him, because those look really, really awesome. Anyways, let's stand him next to some other figures really quick from his own Build-A-Figure wave. Here he is next to another Vulcan body figure with Cyclops from this wave, and I really like Cyclops, and they look pretty decent, not too shabby. Here he is with Wolverine from that same wave, and they look pretty cool. Nothing special there. Here he is with the SH Figuarts UI sign Goku, and he towers over him, but Goku is still a more awesome figure if you ask me. Let's see, there's another one here. Let's stand him here with the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Juggernaut, and that looks pretty darn cool. I'm excited for the Juggernaut that's coming out later this year. But that's enough for comparisons. That, you know, he looks pretty good with them, whatever. Let's take a look at his articulation really quick, because it's Vulcan, so we've all more or less seen it all before. But, you know, we'll start in his head. It'll look down good. And despite the long ponytail, the head looks up good because the hair is nice and flexible. And that's because it's on that damn ball peg disc hinge thing. They still do it. You know, I bitch about this every video with these things. This is not a good joint, because you would think you're getting nuance. You're not. The head is just wiggling up on that stupid ball peg. You got to kind of do that to get his head to get any kind of nuance, and that looks like he's like somebody's got him in a fucking rear naked choke or something. Despite the shoulder pads, the arms will come up to 90 degrees. Oh, and he has no neck joint. Not surprising, but he doesn't have a neck joint. Arms will come up to 90. And if you finagle around these shoulder pads, you can get a 360 twist. Underneath it, you know, it's the Vulcan body, so there is a bit of a butterfly joint, but the harness that gets in the way. But that's not really a big deal. I'm not going to hold it against it on this figure. I don't imagine he needs to do too much out in front of him. Bicep swivel works just fine. Double jointed elbow, plenty of range despite the wrist gauntlet glove things. Elbows aren't too horrific, and the wrist is a hinge. Ab crunch, it'll come forward, and the cape hides the spinal deformation. Leaning back, tons of pregnancy, tons of gap, nothing surprising there. And he has a waist twist where he is being sawed in half. Anyways, legs come out to the side about like that, which isn't horrible, but there's no reason why they can't go forward. I say that each and every time. Front kick, that's not too shitty. Thigh swivel, that thigh swivels. Double jointed knee, little bit, because these boots are longer, they made the lower leg a little too long in the proportions. But you know, if that were the worst thing going on with this figure, that wouldn't be a big deal, but it isn't. This figure doesn't have a shin swivel, and that's odd because it's a Vulcan figure that doesn't have a shin swivel. Ankles are hinged all the way down, all the way up, with a little bit of ankle rocker. Still a little too steep. But anyways, peg holes in the bottom of the feet, and no toe hinge. He doesn't move bad. He's the Vulcan body. The Vulcan body doesn't look bad, but most of its movement, especially in the diaphragm, make it look fucking weird. But his cape hides 50% of it, so I don't have that big of an issue with it. I do like his cape. Final thoughts on Fabian Cortez here. For him being a figure that I'm not familiar with, he is the Vulcan body. Vulcan body is definitely passable. Definitely needs more paint, but that's nothing new with this wave or this line. You know, Marvel Legends from the get-go. I think the boots make him a little too tall, and they fuck with his aesthetic and his lower legs anyway. And the shoulder pads, they need more paint. I just don't really like the look of that. But overall, he's not a bad figure. And I do like the couple of little pieces of accessories that he come with. I want to give him a C+. Nothing special, but definitely nothing completely jacked up like Marvel Legends likes to give us. Anyways, that's really all I've got for Fabian Cortez here. If you haven't subscribed, pause the video, scroll down, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And with all that said, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.